What's up? Welcome to Beers and Banter. This is a Hobby Homies podcast where we drink a couple beverages and talk all things hobby or just whatever the alcohol, the BAC, whatever it speaks to us. I am one of the many hosts on the show, Fox. I'm joined by my friend Shane.
Hello, many hosts. Who else do we have?
We have the power of the internet. We have Churchy editing.
Of course, Churchy.
And we have our beers.
And our homies in the Discord.
Who hopefully will listen to us at some stage.
Of course.
Now, we kick up. This is called Beers and Banter. So the very first thing we must do is talk beers.
Absolutely. It's the first thing in the name.
Exactly.
Banter was first. We would talk shit for half an hour and then talk about beers, but we do it the other way around.
Exactly. We have everyone tune out long before we start talking shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hear about these beers. I don't care about beers. I don't even like beer. Well, we do. And Shane, I want to know what you're drinking. I can hear you cracking it.
I just cracked a spicy one, which I haven't tried yet. I have been drinking the Beechworth Pale Ale.
You love it.
I do love it. It's
absolutely
quite nice.
Love it.
But I have just cracked a hoppy sour.
Ooh.
Brewed by Bridge Road Brewers, which make Beechworth Pale Ale. Don't know how I feel about it yet. Just it's a pink can.
Okay. That immediately has caught you off guard, I can tell.
Yeah. I don't expect beer to be pink.
Or sour.
So let's have a...
Yeah, you get into that.
Have a go.
You cheersed me on the camera. I can see you lifted your can slightly. I appreciate that. I want to know what your initial impressions are because your face is telling a lot. I want your mouth to tell me the rest.
Carbonated.
Okay. Good. That's a good start.
Sour, indeed.
Yeah. Does this take you? Is it like good sour? Does it take you back on a big nostalgia trip to the Six Ways Milk Bar where you got like... what are they called? Warheads?
Yeah, nah.
Ghost drops? You're not loving it at all.
I hate it, dude.
This is a 1.5. I could tell.
0.9.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I wouldn't drink that if I was dying of thirst.
Struth, man. So it's called a hoppy sour.
Sour.
Do you at least get the nice little hops in there, or is it just a bombardment of
carbonation? So straight away, I felt like I was drinking lemonade.
Okay.
And then the sour, but not a, not that nostalgic sour of ghost drops or warheads, or even those little sour
worms.
Sour worms, nothing like that at all. Like it was just
disappointing. You're disappointed.
I am. It was one of 6, but the other 5 were fantastic.
Oh, I thought you meant you bought 6 of them. I was like,
oh no.
Okay.
No.
It was like a mixed pack.
Yeah, mixed pack. Yeah. So, I froth the old Bridge Road Brewers, but what the fuck were you thinking when you brewed that up?
That one's a miss, my dude. Swing and a miss. They've been hitting home runs all day and their arms are tired and now they've struck out.
That's it. What are you drinking, dude? I saw you got a nice tall glass there.
Yeah, I do. You know me. Can't drink out of a can. So I have I've given them a second chance, the old Batch Brewing Company.
The old Batch was the ones that had that grapefruit or whatever flavor it was.
Black currant and coffee, I believe it was. Yeah. So that for me was like a 0.2. A 0.2 out of 5, and it scarred me for a little bit. This is the reason I'm trying this is because we had a delicious coconut IPA from Mountain Culture.
Yes, Mountain Culture. Yep,
that was one of the ones Grudy sent us by mistake, which we'll always take accidental orders, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely,
unless they're Bridge Road Brewery sours.
Hoppy sours.
Yeah, hoppy sours. That one can hop right out your window.
Yeah.
So I decided I would try the Batch Brewing Company again. I would try another coconut IPA to see if it was as good as the Mountain Culture.
Yep.
It's a little bit more subtle.
Mm-hmm.
It's got those definite coconut, notes. But it's definitely not as... I remember the Mountain Culture one being like pretty thick. It was like...
was that Pillow Talk?
It could have been Pillow Talk. I think that was his name. I forget.
The one that was like 7 0.9% alcohol, whatever
Yeah, I
it
think
was.
so.
Yeah.
It was very good. I
Yeah.
can't remember. I'd have to have it again, but I feel like that was a high fours.
Yep.
And this one's like a low fours, so it's still
Okay.
pretty good. It's a great brew. I don't want to
Yep.
undersell it. It is a great brew. It's just if I had a coconut IPA option, it'd be Pillow Talk if that's the
Fair.
yeah. This is great though. I can't get Mountain Culture without ordering it online. This I can go down to my local and grab. So
Yeah.
I give it a strong crooked thumb up.
Nice.
So
Nice, dude.
yeah. So pretty happy with that. I'm much happier with my choice than you are of yours. So
Yep.
one of us is winning. Hey, we like to engage with our audience.
we do. Yes, we do.
That was my Thursday Arvo brain just kicking in full gear there.
Yep.
Sometimes they send us questions they want answered on our beers and banters. So my question for you, Shane, is
Shoot.
this one's from Gritty. It's actually from Mrs. Gritty.
Oh.
If you went to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, which house would the sorting house, but I think that means sorting
hat. Yep.
Yeah. Put you in and why, Shane?
Good question. As a kid, I always wanted to be in Gryffindor.
Okay.
Because that's what all the nerds do.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I don't know enough about like Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff to know like where I might be placed. You know, you're looking at me like I shouldn't know those other names.
Yeah, sorry. I am disgusted that you knew them, but disgusted that when you said them, I recognized them. So
yeah.
This is also, I made the mistake of prefacing this for maybe newer people that this was probably going to be about hobby. I forgot to mention that it's just whatever the fuck we want to talk about. So.
Yeah, Beers and Banter is an untamed beast.
Yeah. We just jump on and ride the bish. We don't know where we're going to end up.
No. You know, like it's like what characteristics of me could I see myself like the hat putting me? You know, like
sure. Do they
am I
have different
Slytherin?
characteristics?
Oh yeah. Like Gryffindor is meant to be for like the brave and the, you know, the noble and the righteous, and Slytherin's meant to be for the slimy and the you know, the deceitful. No, not really, but
let me get. So it was Harry Potter and Gryffindor then.
Yeah, all the
bad guys were in Slytherin.
Yeah, pretty much. And then like Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw were just mentioned. Like there was like pretty much like just the guys in the back, you know, like no one cares about them.
The B grade supporting cast characters were always probably in one of those two.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. But yeah, as a kid, Gryffindor, you know, but now.
But this isn't what you want to be in. This is what the sorting hat would see you, Shane.
I can't pick unless you're Harry Potter. He got to pick.
Did he really?
Yeah. He was whispering to the hat saying, I think you're saying not Slytherin, and then the hat's like, yeah, not Slytherin, eh? Yeah, you got to watch it.
He Jedi mind trick. No, I don't have to watch it. Isn't it just the prior generation's Twilight? Is that offensive to say?
Fuck you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, he actually said his answer to his missus, which is incredibly brave, is always Hufflepuff, because that's where I think all the sluts would be put.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
He said, Mrs. Gridlock doesn't ask me that question anymore. So, fair enough. I too would like to be put in Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff. Yeah.
He's just got a great name. It reminds me of Jigglypuff, the Pokemon. So
yeah,
I'm in there. Straight in. Don't know what the hat would do with me, to be honest. But that's where I would want to go. I'd whisper to him. I'd be like, Jigglypuff. His second question, which is more on the hobby related thing. In fact, it reads, have you read many hobby related novels / audiobooks? Black Library, D&D novels, any sci-fi fantasy novels, basically. And do you have a particular favorite or something you would recommend? Welcome to Book Club, everyone. Of Beers and Banter.
I got a bunch.
Do it, Shane, because I haven't read any. So
you haven't read a book since like 2007.
I will recommend a book when you're done. But it's not relevant to hobby, so go on.
I frothed the Dark Tower series, man. Like, I I can't even like really like I don't want to like sum it up because I wouldn't do it justice. But
Sure.
it's a fantastic sort of cross of fantasy and a little bit of sci-fi.
Is it Warhammer?
No,
Okay.
no, I can't remember the writer off the top of my head.
Sure.
But the Dark Tower, the Gunslinger, man, it's so fucking cool.
The Dark Tower. You said Gunslinger, but you said fantasy.
Yeah. Like,
I'm
yeah.
confused. What kind of book is this?
It's
Is
a
it by
confusing.
Stephen
It's a
King?
confusing read. Stephen King. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yep.
I googled it.
Yep.
A dark fantasy by American author. It's a series. The Gunslinger is the first of a series.
Yep.
Really good.
Very,
Okay.
very cool. I've imagined a miniature war game, skirmish game built upon this universe for so long.
Wow.
It's sick.
What kind of, could you tell me anything about? It's fantasy, but it's called The Gunslinger.
Okay, so there's this gunslinger. So there's this like alternate sort of world, right?
Anything that starts with okay. So I'm gonna need to get my butt groove on here. I'm in for a wild ride. Put my seatbelt on. Go
on. Oh man, it's been that long since I've I listened to the audiobooks because I'd listen a lot while I was working.
Yeah.
But it's set in this alternate universe, and there's these doorways that open between them, and the alternate universe is kind of like a post-apocalyptic thing, but it's many generations from since whatever happened, right? The catastrophe that happened. So people don't really remember what happened.
Oh, interesting.
It's sort of just known as like they have a really cool name for it. It's like the before times kind of thing, right? That's what they sort of refer to it as, like before the world ended kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there's this gunslinger, and he's kind of like a lawman, like a cop.
Like a sheriff.
There's basically, but there's no guns left in this sort of world except for the guns owned by gunslingers, and then even then the ammunition is so scarce, like no one's got bullets, right?
Yeah.
But
so he's actually slinging guns. He's actually throwing the pistols themselves.
Oh no, he's shooting people.
Good. Damn. My version was cooler.
And there's this doorway that opens, and like this guy from like the now times comes through, and they work together, and it's got some really humorous moments and a fantastic story between it. So
damn, sounds cool.
Yeah, they made a movie on it, and it starred Matthew McConaughey, but it didn't do very well. It didn't stay true to the story. They kind of wrapped it all up pretty quickly in like one movie, which was a shame. But yeah, the books are brilliant. If you watch the movie and didn't rate it, the books are fantastic.
So you highly rate that book, although it's not hobby related whatsoever. It's got cool fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I've read heaps of like the Horus Heresy ones and a few sort of like random like library ones. I just bought the Infinite and the Divine, the Necron one with Trazen and I think it's the other Overlord. I can't remember.
One of them.
Yeah. But
the
Trazen's in it.
Trazen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I plan to hit more audiobooks, but it's just hard now with work because I'm not working by myself. So I don't want to like make my partner listen to
or put the earphones in and just like
I can't do that.
Him. Yeah.
I should just put it on the truck. He'd be like, what are you listening to? And I'd be like, just shut up and listen.
Yeah. Just wait. Your mind is about to be blown.
Yeah.
It's like, what's a Necron? You're like, okay, yeah, wait, no. I've got some backstory to do here before I blow your mind.
60 million years ago.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of a little thing called the Old Ones? I think you probably have.
The War in Heaven.
Yeah, you know it. You know the War in Heaven. Is that like God and stuff? Oh no. No,
it's bigger than that.
It's Kitsans. Kitsans. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I haven't read a book that wasn't by a particular author called Murakami or Haruki Murakami, which is a Japanese. He might be the most well-known international Japanese author, potentially. Yeah. Again, though, it's not hobby related. I haven't read any of the books. They all sound so cool. I want to, I just wouldn't know where to throw myself in to start. There was a cool thing in the Kroot subreddit where someone posted a link to a Warhammer community article that was, I think it was an author from one of the series of the Black Library.
Yep.
And they were like, what are you going to work on next? And he was like, oh, I could do this, but I know in my heart the only true answer is Kroot. So that got us
Oh,
all
wow.
very excited to have a book maybe that was focused on the Kroot. But I didn't really understand the context because I don't know any of the authors or what they do or like any of it. But I don't like reading. So these Murakami books were, I read one called Norwegian Wood, which is like a really kind of, I'd say, drab kind of story. It's like a realist story that follows just a teen going through his life and sort of just almost like a biography. And it has this kind of boring vibe to it, but there's these little moments of intrigue. And then when you finish the book, there's no like sweeping revelation.
Yeah.
But you kind of start over the next week or two, you like piece these things together and you're like, wait, maybe this happened because of this. And maybe this, it just has a lot of intrigue about it. And you
That's
kind
cool,
of,
man.
Yeah, it was very well. And that's what I was like, oh, this is what a well-written book is, because I'm not like a reader. In fact, the only book I think I read and I went, wow, this is really good, was like the very first Harry Potter book.
Yeah.
I have no recollection of it other than going, wow, this is really, really fucking good.
I think a book that can make you think about it a week later, it's got to be a good book. Like to think like, just start piecing different things together in your head, like almost like out of the blue, you know, to leave a mark like that. Like there's so many things that you read and go, oh yeah, that's cool. And then you forget about it and it's gone. But like to think about it like a week later and be like, oh shit, like that's cool. Yeah.
And this book from him was like one of his not lesser known books, but like not one of, it wasn't like in his top 5 or whatever. So I was like, okay, let's go find out what people recommend. There's this one called Kafka on the Shore, which I then read and I was like, oh my God, this is like the previous book, but instead of thinking about it a week after, I'm thinking about it 24/7.
Yeah.
I'm like, that chapter I just read, until I read the next one, I'm thinking about it. And I was like, that's amazing. And then even to this day, I'm like, I gotta read that book again. I feel like there's pieces that I missed that I probably won't catch the second time, but I just gotta, in the context of what I read later, I just want to put it all back together.
Oh man, all this talking about books, it makes me want to go back and listen to the Dark Tower again. Like,
yeah, for sure, man.
I used to read so much when I was a kid. Like, I kind of like every night. Like, it started off as an excuse to be able to like stay up later. Like, you know, I had my bedtime, but if I was reading, I could stay up a bit later than that. But like, it started off like that. But then like, I just fell in love with books, man. And I remember reading like so many different books as a kid, and like even like The Hobbit and stuff like that. Reading that when I was like 10 or 11 or 12 or something like that. Like, books I think they're very underrated nowadays. Like,
for sure.
They're too easily forgotten. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel the same in my circle, definitely. Like, it's not you do meet your people that books are life and it's their identity. And after reading some really good books, you're like, I could definitely see that. Like, wargaming is my identity, but like, if that didn't exist, I definitely vibe that. Because like the most recent one I'm reading from Murakami, like I'm addicted to his stuff now because I'm like, is all his books like this? And I keep reading them and they like keep one-upping the previous one in terms of intrigue and mystery. But it's like not an in-your-face mystery. He's telling you what's happening, but you're kind of like forced to create the rest of the world around you. The one I'm reading now is called, I forget what it's called. A Hard-Boiled Winterland and the End of the World.
Oh, yeah.
The Hard-Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World. Anyways, a lot of his books actually like follow 2 stories at once, and you kind of and they're kind of intertwined in some aspects.
Yep.
And you almost expect them to meet the cliche of
paths,
crossing paths and hitting a climax at the same point, but they don't.
Yep. Sometimes
they cross paths and it's anticlimactic.
Yeah.
And sometimes the biggest things that happen are when they're separate, but it only makes sense together. It's wild. Anyways, I would highly recommend any of his books if they're anything like the 3 I've read. So
Hell yeah.
And so that's hobby
That's
and
book club.
wargaming in general. Yeah. And that's the Hobby Homies Book Club.
Yeah.
Two people that don't have enough time to read books talk about books.
Yep.
Like they know what's going on. Wait, no, this is listener questions. Listener questions. Listener questions. So Hockers has asked us both, but I'll hit you, Shane.
All right.
He says the Tau, like Kiss, have enough groupies to form an army, like Vespids and Kroot, etc.
Yeah.
Which Tau army groupies are you taking on a tour, and why?
Oh, okay.
So you got some groupies. There's the Vespids, Kroot,
Yeah.
and I believe like the humans that just
the
join
Tau
the Tau.
sympathizers.
Yeah, I forget what they're called.
I can't remember either. They do have a name for them. The Vespids are cool. They remind me of like Geonosians a little bit.
Exactly.
From Star Wars. I mean, you love Kroot, so there's really no answer. I mean, that's the answer for you, I probably imagine.
Yeah, he in brackets wrote, Fox, who's your second pick? He knew who my first pick would be.
He anticipated it, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I am not a diehard Kroot lover as you are, but I do appreciate them as a species and as a race. So it'd be a tough pick between Vespids and Kroot, I reckon, for me.
Yeah, I like the insect. Yeah, they're exactly Geonosians. That's exactly the vibe I get from them.
Yeah.
They're very cool. I remember thinking, man, how cool would it be? I honestly think if you had a Vespid range as diverse as the Kroot one, and that's not hard to do, to have 3 models, I honestly think I would be as passionate about Vespids as I am Kroot.
Oh, yeah?
Because I like the insectoid kind of vibe as much as I do the avian kind. Yeah. So, yeah, I go Vespids too. I think you, me, and 3 Vespids on tour. That's a band right there. That's a band. Our manager can be a Guivesa. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's the human helper.
Ah, yes.
GUE -Vesa.
Sure.
Apostrophe Vesa. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds like isn't that Dave's last name?
It sounds like Dave's last name.
It's literally Dave's last name and an A at the end. So I think
no wonder he hates Tau so much.
Yeah, he does. For sure. That's it. We figured him out. Jigs up, mate. We know you're a commie. Yeah. You're a commie fish person. Hey, Jay sent them some questions. Sent them? Where them? Sent us.
Are you alright, dude?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a few. I'll be honest. Before the batch, I was on the Hopmosphere.
Oh, yes, you've been enjoying them.
Haven't I? Yeah, yep. I do. I really do. Anyways, Shane, I'm going to pick a random one out of the batch that he sent us. 40k lore is deep. What's one area you don't know about but really want to?
Ooh, good question. Probably more of the Horus Heresy, man. I know bits and pieces, but maybe that's a cop-out.
It's pretty broad. It's like saying I want to know more about 40k.
Yeah. True.
Which parts of the Horus Heresy do you want to know more about?
I want to know more. I want to know more about the Unification Wars. So when the Emperor was using his Thunder Warriors before Space Marines to unite Earth.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to learn more about that.
Almost the prelude to the Horus Heresy.
Pretty much.
You want to know about all that
Pretty
stuff?
Much. Yep.
Before the Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
So that'd be sick, because I think the Thunder Warriors are really, really cool. Like the fact that they're still big hulking dudes, but they're a dwarf compared to a Space Marine, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like Pentium 4s. Yeah, they were good back then.
Yeah.
They were beasts back then.
There are no I9s now.
Yeah, we got I9s. For sure.
Yeah. What about you, dude? What do you want to learn more about?
Well, yeah. Hard to not cop out. I'd love there to be more Kroot lore to learn about.
Yeah.
But if I were to pick a faction, I would probably want to know more about probably Grey Knights.
Oh,
they seem to be incredibly rich in history, and they seem to have done a lot of really shitty things because they fall under the banner of the Inquisition.
Yeah.
Which has become incredibly dogmatic and religious,
Yeah.
dogmatic, despite their actual initial reason for inception. So they got a lot of cool stuff going on, not a lot of stuff that makes you want to play Grey Knights.
Yeah.
I remember reading a story of how they were trying to kill everyone from a planet, I think, because they figured out or they'd heard of chaos or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe they were psychers, and the Space Wolves were actually trying to block their ships as they were leaving. They were trying to protect the civilians, and the Grey Knights were just like, sure, we'll just blow up your ships too.
Yeah.
And then one of the Grey Knights, I forget his name. Sorry, not Grey Knights. One of the Space Wolves main characters. I've known his name up until this very point. I'm sorry, everyone. I've blanked. But he basically came in and single-handedly stopped the entire Grey Knight fleet and just absolutely destroyed them. So Space Wolves are cool too.
Yeah.
But and both parties and sort of that era, is very cool. I'd like to know more about that.
Yeah, that's the whole Inquisition though. Like that's it's like, oh, you've heard about chaos, huh? It's like, all right, well, your entire planet is just gonna get destroyed.
Sorry, we're gonna have to purge
it spread.
Yeah. It's like how we get locked down because 2 people have COVID. It's like the whole planet gets purged because someone heard about chaos once.
Yeah, they just order exterminatus.
Yeah. The Inquisition and how they operate and the characters within it is super intriguing to me.
Yeah.
And the Grey Knights
it is too.
Being like effectively what the Custodes were, but a little bit weaker, I guess. How they only answered to the Emperor was very cool to me. Yeah, super unique. Want to learn more about them. One last question. Oh, no, that's a tasty one to hit next week.
Yeah, we haven't got the time for a spicy one.
No, they're all really good. Jace, we're going to hit some of these next week and the week after because you've sent this to you. They're really good.
Hell yeah.
We also wanted to talk about Hexfire, which is a box we have split.
We have, yep.
But maybe we'll hit that next week as we know a little bit more. I might have to post these to you, dude, because I'm looking at your insane, cool-looking 1,000 Suns. Dude, why are you getting 1,000 Suns for?
Froth that shit, dude.
You don't have any 1,000 Suns.
I don't, but now I do.
Yeah, that's true. In front of me, man. They look sweet. The character in there looks cool. It's unnamed. Well, it's named in the lore and in the book, but I think in the rules it's unnamed. He looks dope, man.
Yeah.
The detail on his kit is insane. You don't know, but I know.
I'll know. I'll know soon enough.
Yeah, for sure. So this has been Beers and Banter. This has been
mostly
Beers
book club.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gridlock.
Yeah. What tangents were we going? What were we talking about? He even asked us specifically hobby related, and then we went on 2 big tangents.
Oh, did he say specifically hobby related?
He did,
I thought he said,
Yeah, he prefaced by saying hobby related. But then I ruined it he said, have you read many hobby related novels or audiobooks? Then he said Black Library, D&D. But then he said any sci-fi or fantasy novels, basically.
You did this.
Yeah,
you did this, Gridlock.
Yeah. If anyone has any complaints, don't send it to hobbyhomies@gmail. We get enough of those. No. Send it to gridlock@live.com.
And that's a GR1D.
Yeah. Send it to Gritty Hufflepuff. Slut Destroyer 69 at hotmail.com. I've been Fox.
I've been Shane, and you have been bearing.
Yeah, overbearing.
Thank you.
Peace.
All right, hooroo.